and executive director at America Rising PAC, Alexandra Wilkes. Thank you both for joining in the fun this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Nathan, I'm going to start with you. Do you think Democrats are missing sort of golden opportunities to promote their platform because they're so focused on criticizing President Trump?
Well, first and foremost, it's a little hard for Hillary Clinton, Eric Holder, and Alec Baldwin to promote a platform when they're not candidates. If you look at the candidates that are actually running, they are talking about the issues that are important to the American people. I think that's evidenced by Beto O'Rourke down in Texas, pulling crowds that are larger than Trump rallies. So he is talking about climate change, campaign finance reform, immigration, race relations, health care. Those issues matter to the American people, and the rest of the candidates around the country are doing the same.
Yeah, but Eric Holder, Hillary Clinton, they may not be running, but they certainly represent the party. But Alexandra, does Nathan have a point that sort of the media may be focusing on these controversial moments, but down on the ground where it matters, Democrats are getting it done? What do you think?
Well, I think this is what independent voters who are going to matter crucially in this midterm election are seeing on TV. And that really does matter because first of all, there's the politics of obstruction, right? This is the impeachment crowd. We got to do away with President Trump, do away with Justice Kavanaugh. I think that plays terribly among these voters. But also there's the politics of destruction, where we have people like Maxine Waters saying we need to confront Trump officials out in restaurants and gas stations. You have Eric Holder saying we need to kick Republicans. The rhetoric has really gone to a new low, and I think that really does matter when these undecided voters are looking at what party they want to control the houses of Congress this upcoming year.
All right. And speaking of that rhetoric, let's take a look at some of the reaction to Hillary Clinton's civility comment. 47% of people polled disagree with her statement, and 14% are undecided. Alexandra, you brought up independent voters. So, Nathan, I want to ask you, are you concerned that some of these folks that could potentially vote for Democrats are getting turned off by this sort of angry, divisive commentary coming from some of the leaders within the party?
Well, I mean, I think it's an interesting question because we're certainly seeing it from both sides. Donald Trump and folks in his administration are referring to Democrats as an angry mob, and I'm not a member of an angry mob. I'm just a concerned citizen who wants better for our democracy. So I think it's coming from both sides, and we've definitely seen it in Charlottesville. There was a big rally where Heather Heyer was actually killed by a neo-Nazi. And then even just last week here in New York, there were a group called the Proud Boys who were running around beating, yelling homophobic slurs. So I really think not only is the rhetoric escalated on both sides, but we are seeing some violence coming from the right.
You know, Nathan, you do bring up a good point. President Trump has made his fair share of controversial comments. So, Alexandra, do you think that Democrats are just responding to divisive rhetoric with more divisive rhetoric?
Carly, it's not Halloween yet, but the ghosts of Democratic past just keep coming to haunt them. I think if you're a Democrat, you're looking at that Hillary Clinton interview and saying, why is this happening 21 days out from an election? Look, I think that the Democrats right now, they're attempting to sort of fight President Trump back using, some of the president's own tactics of, being out there and being loud and being, certainly controversial at times. But as we saw in the Republican primaries, that didn't work out too well for the Republicans who tried that against him. There seems to be a uniqueness to the president to be able to deliver those kind of barbs.
Yeah, and you just got to think there's got to be a better way to talk about politics than constantly spiraling out of control into violence and all that. I think we can both agree on that.
We can all agree on that.
All right. Yep. And Alexandra and Nathan, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.